I've got friends.
Yeah.
I've got friends. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Maps. They tell us stuff. But what kind of stuff? That's for you, Link, to figure out right now. Now I'm gonna show you a series of maps.
I think maps just show you like geography, don't you?
Well, and these aren't, I mean, they're technically maps, but we're not talking like road maps. We're talking about like, I know you go on the Reddit, I go on the Reddit. That whole data is beautiful where they'll take like the world and it's got some sort of category that's been charted throughout the world.
Oh.
I'm gonna show you those kinds of maps and then I'm gonna give you multiple choices as to what this data is referring to.
Okay, we're talking data distribution maps.
If you get 3 out of 5 of these right, Link, you get a picture of Mr. Worldwide himself. That's Pitbull.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide, look at him. He's looking around the world right there.
You can set it right over there.
Okay, this will motivate me.
You can just look at that. That's what you're playing for, Link. This is serious.
Okay.
Here we go. Here's the first map. What do you think this map represents?
Oh, heat.
Is this A, locations compared based on the average amount of hurricanes per decade? B, locations compared based on average amount of lightning strikes per year? C, locations compared based on number of people killed by wild animals per year? Or D, locations compared based on who wears the most fedoras unironically?
Oh gosh, this is more like equatorial distribution. It gets really hot in like around the equator in Africa. That's the hottest point. And it doesn't go up, man. Okay, so hurricanes. I know from personal experience over there on our East Coast, it does look hot, so that would make me think hurricanes. Lightning strikes is not the answer because I think those go farther north. Wild animals.
We need an answer, Link.
I think, you know what? There's a lot of the middle of Africa where I'd love to go there and see all the wild animals they have that hopefully wouldn't kill me. And then down there in the Everglades, I'm just picking places. I think it's wild animals. A lot of wild animals being killed on this heat map. Well, killing people.
It's lightning strikes, man.
Really?
That is averages of lightning strikes per year. So those are the hot spots where lightning strikes. You were wrong, Link.
Okay, none in Egypt. Who knew?
That's all you're drawing from that?
Yep.
None in Egypt.
That's where I'm going next.
Okay, well, maybe this is gonna be tougher than I thought.
Oh, it is.
Is that too misleading? Okay, here's another map. I think this one's a little bit easier.
Okay, this is just the country that I live in.
Yes.
I recognize this country.
What does this represent? A map based on where people claim to have spotted a UFO, a map based on the regions where people are most likely to have cholesterol issues,
okay.
A map based on how people pronounce the word crayon, or a map of people who still say on fleek.
All right, so it's hot in the south, but it's really hot on that finger sticking out from, I don't know, the New York area. New York.
Right.
Long Island. Okay. Crayon. That doesn't make sense. They say crayon, we say crayon, and they say crayon. I don't know what they say. Cholesterol issues.
The Creole population of Long Island. Crayon. You had your crayon today?
I know that it's not UFO because Roswell.
Hand me that red crayon.
Like all of that Roswell stuff is not a hotspot on this. I'm gonna go
West Virginia is very cool, just so you know.
Oh.
I want to point that out. So if we're talking about UFOs.
Do they have cholesterol issues? I guess not, because that's my. How would you measure crayon? I'm going with cholesterol issues in the fried South. I'm proud of it.
You should have gone with crayon, man. Because you know that apparently some people say crayon.
And they've measured this?
And some people say
Crayon.
crayon, crane. And then crown. Those are the different ways that it is pronounced. And so where it's red is where people say crayon.
This is an accent map. Dang
yes. That was a tough one, but I thought that's why I told you the West Virginia, because you know they got cholesterol and UFO issues in West Virginia.
I know, man.
Okay, Link, you got to get all these right, man.
I can do it.
Okay, this one's even simpler. Okay, They're just either highlighted or not. What does this represent? Which countries have an official language? Which countries have a national golf team? Which countries have Spotify? Or which countries are blue?
Well, those countries are blue.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the blue countries are blue.
That's right. Yeah, you're fine.
National golf team, though. This is national golf team. I'm feeling it. Everywhere I look that's blue, I see them playing golf.
Right. Yeah.
Australia, South Africa. Everywhere in South America?
You doubting yourself? You should be.
Have Spotify. That's not nearly enough Spotify. I think this is Spotify.
Good, Link, it is Spotify. Yes, you got one right. Meanwhile, there are no countries using Tidal.
Really?
All right, Link, you're on a roll now. Okay, this next one is a map of area codes in the United States.
Okay.
Some of them are highlighted. What do those highlighted ones represent? A, what area codes have been shouted out by American Idol contestants? B, what area codes received the least 911 calls? C, what area codes Ludacris claims to have friends in the song Area Codes? Or D, what area codes?
I've got friends.
Yeah.
I've got friends. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
It doesn't sound the same.
Different area codes. So this is people on American Idol saying, shout out to my 919 or my 212 or my 316.
Right. It's very common practice.
Ludacris. He said a lot of area codes, but it's not that long of a song. But why would he shout out the bottom tip of Nevada?
You don't know what happens in the bottom tip of Nevada.
There's a lot of other. Yeah, this is not Ludacris's tour zone. Oh, this is tough. 911 calls. These places don't seem any more safe than any other place. I'm gonna go with American Idol shout-outs over all of those seasons. A.
You either overestimated or underestimated Ludacris, because this is Ludacris.
This
is where Ludacris claims to have friends. And it also explains why the tip of Florida burns when it pees.
Wow.
Link, you can't win now, but just for pride's sake, here's our last map. What do you think this map represents? A, countries compared based on life expectancy. B, countries compared based on alcohol consumption. C, countries compared based on the amount of sexual activity. Or D, countries compared based on where Carmen Sandiego has been found.
This is confusing because it's just a bunch of colors with no real indication. So
I'll give you a hint.
the US a color?
I'll give
is that
you a
brown
hint.
a color?
The brown is the least and the purple is the most.
Well, you know what they say about vodka.
What do they say about it?
People who are colored purple like to drink a lot of it. That sounded racist, but at least no one's colored purple. So I'm gonna go with alcohol consumption. No, so the least in the US? Sexual activity. Man. Least amount of sexual activity? I'm alcohol consumption.
Link, you're right, that's right.
Okay.
Alcohol is consumed very, very heavily in Russia and some parts of Europe. Also, this is a map showing countries that think they're good at karaoke. Link, you got 2 out of 5.
Well, that's a tough one, Rhett.
That means I get to take this picture of Pitbull and put it next to my bedside.
Yeah, right, because he's a thinker. And I'm not.
Yes, he is. Keep studying those maps, Link.
Yeah,
Next time you'll win a picture of Pitbull.
I'll just get a coloring book and I'll just color maps.
Do that.
That's what
Occupy
I'll do.
yourself. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
I'm Allegra from the state of New Jersey in the USA, and it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Oh, a little so dang dark here. All right, click the bottom link to watch this episode from the beginning.
And click the top link to see who's better at putting on a plain flotation vest, me or taller one?
And to find out where the wheel of mythicality is gonna land. Today we spice up your t-shirt collection. Let's talk about that. No, literally, that's what this t-shirt says. Get it on mythical.store.